Hello everybody, my name is Rain. It's been a long time since I uploaded on here. I think like 4 years to be exact. Today I want to do a get ready with me, do my makeup, while I talk to you about life lessons that I've learned being a newborn adult. In my mind, being a newborn adult is just like, you haven't been an adult for very long. I feel like 18-year-olds and even 19-year-olds are like baby adults. Like I'm still 18 in like 6 months. So I feel like I'm still like a baby adult. So I've been compiling a list for my baby brother's 16th birthday, which is coming up soon, of all the adult things that I've learned and why. So I want to share that list with some people who maybe don't have big siblings, or just people in general, to tell them all these wonderful life hacks that I've learned. And so yeah, I want to be able to do that for you guys here today. And I'm going to do my makeup and drink from my little cold room. So I'm going to do my skincare for the day. Do not judge my technique. I'm not claiming this is good. This is just how I do it, okay? Okay, so basically, the first thing I learned, I think as an adult, is that, oh my God, public transit is better than driving. Like, almost 10 times out of 10. Because, like, I feel like in Toronto, it's like you're trying not to get tricked by a genie or like a djinn. Also, public transit, like the more that people use it, the more funding it tends to get, that more that goes back into the city, which then, in theory, can go back towards making the city more accessible for people as opposed to the driver, which I totally agree with. I believe like walkable cities is a huge thing. And honestly, I think that's the reason why people tend to talk about how much they miss university or college, is because that was the last time they lived in a place where they could walk to school, work, in theory, places to get food, and their place of residence, and got to be integrated into a community. So maybe that's just a me thing, but walkable cities. I like it. I have the daytime and the nighttime cream from Nivea. I just like them. I feel like they're just soothing and soft. This is not sponsored, by the way. I'm just telling you what I use. I also like adding a little dot on my nose because it feels silly. I'm also gonna flip up my septum. I'm not picking my nose. I just don't like getting cream on it. Okay, then I'm gonna go in with the Neutrogena Hydro Boost. One thing I've also started doing in terms of public transit is I will just buy a monthly pass, because if I'm having to pay for it all the time, which by the way should be free, it's not, but it should be, I feel like I'm just so discouraged. I'm like, oh, I'll walk, oh, I'll drive, whatever. No. Okay, so I'm just gonna smooth it in. I love skincare. It's so nice. My face is like, I feel like a seal, like a wet seal. Number 2, don't mess with people's systems. I have never heard someone talking about this as an adult, or really in general in my life, but oh my God, it was such a key thing to learn how to be successful, like in terms of getting along with coworkers, getting along with parents, like family, like anyone who you're interacting with. Don't mess with people's systems. When my dad does the laundry, he always leaves the laundry room light on. He has to, otherwise he will forget that there is laundry. And so I've learned the hard way to not turn off the light, because otherwise he won't remember, and then he'll forget, and then it messes up his day. Or another example with my dad, because he has a lot of systems that he likes, is like he'll leave coffee cups that are like halfway full. He'll make a pot of coffee, have a coffee cup, leave it somewhere, and then forget about it, and then make a bunch more. And then by the end of the day, he has like 6 halfway filled coffee cups that he drank 2 sips from and then lost. But he gets really sad if I move them. If I move the cups or bring them to him or something, like it just messes with his brain for some reason. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna try and change you. I love you and accept you as you are. I will just leave your cups alone. But what I did get him as a gift, because you want people to feel seen and cared for, what I got him as a gift, I think on his birthday, is I got him a cup warmer. It's like one of those ones that you can use to warm candles or gravy too, where like you just put your cup on top of it, it's plugged in, and it keeps it warm. And so that doesn't mess with his system, but it does work well. The best thing I can advise is just learn why they're doing something the way they're doing it. And even if it's not what you think should be done or what works best for you, just respect it, accept it, and work with it, not against it. And honestly, it sounds like such a minute thing, but being aware of that minutia has saved me so many disagreements with people and so many problems. And honestly, it's just like, It's invaluable advice, in my opinion. So, me telling you my own advice, being like, this is invaluable. This is invaluable, you guys. It has all my little sponges. They're like little prisoners. I'm getting distracted, I'm sorry. Oh my god, I keep thinking about dragons. Oh my god. Whee! Oh fuck. My number 3 lesson is, why would you even give a fuck about peer pressure? That's so dumb. Like, I'm not saying like if you've been peer pressured into something, like you're dumb. I'm just saying like peer pressure is so stupid. Like, it sounds really obvious because people are like, oh my god, like don't let people peer pressure you. Yeah, but also peer pressure is so stupid. Like, oh no, your friends want to do something. Are your friends really that smart? Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Look back on it in the future and be like, oh my god, that was so fucking stupid. They're not gonna be like, wow, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you, I don't know, whatever. And if you don't give a fuck, people will back off. But I met someone for the first time and they were like shading me for not drinking because I don't drink alcohol anymore. I don't want to. It just makes me sad. It wasn't a problem for me. I don't like it. I don't like alcohol, so I just don't drink it. And then I was like, yeah, I think I legitimately just said, wow, yeah, I'm such a weirdo for like not drinking alcohol and making personal lifestyle choices that that benefit me and my health. Wow, you really fucking got me there. Another thing I've learned, performance-based pay is usually a scam. Hear me out. I know this might be controversial, but like it is. Like, because employers don't want to pay you more. Why the fuck would they do that? They'd be losing money. I'm not saying all employers are bad. If they're gonna pay you less, they will, most of the time. Don't let yourself be tricked into being like, well, I'm a good worker, I deserve more money. Yes, you do. But they're not gonna think that. They're not gonna acknowledge that, even if you're doing more work, which again is a whole other thing of good employees usually get punished with more work. You'd think promotions, but not always. But just be very mindful of that and be critical and be cautious of everything you're being told when you're being hired, because they have incentives. They have reasons to tell you what they're telling you. And no matter how sweet your boss might be, their business is not to benefit you. If something's too good to be true, it usually is. I worked for this pool place. Oh my eyes. Oh. And it was just a scam, basically. And even if something sounds like fair at the time, oftentimes fine print and contracts or this or that can also be used against you. So just be very careful with that. Don't publicly badmouth anyone when they're not in your life anymore. By the way, I should say, I'm not talking about people who are abusive. Like, I'm not talking about standing up to bullies or abusers or people who are violent or dangerous. I'm not talking about that. But I'm saying, if you're like not friends with someone anymore just cause, don't go around shit talking everyone on social media or like airing out dirty laundry or drama or this or that. No one needs to see that. If anything, it looks bad for you. It looks bad on you, honestly. If you're friends with someone or in a relationship with someone and that ends, and if you just leave things be and don't like shit talk them to the general public, generally, if the other person is doing that, once that person calms down, people are gonna want to be friends with you more than them. And then it's one-sided. It's so yeah, just don't publicly badmouth people when they're not in your life. It's not worth it, I find. Don't cause unnecessary conflict and drama. I feel like on one hand, I get it. Like, I get gossip and all that stuff. On the other hand, I don't. Some part of me like wants to be like, hear ye, hear ye. Come ye to the square, I haveth news. Like, I love that shit, you know? But also, there are so many negatives. Like, protect your peace, protect your peace. You know, there are so many negatives to just unnecessary conflict and drama. Don't bother. 8. This is something people tell you when you're a kid, and you're like, yeah, I know. In my school, it was a big thing as a kid. I don't know if that's true for everyone. Oh my god. Hold the fucking handrails when you're going up and down the stairs. I have gotten badly injured several times, and I'm careful. I'm mostly coordinated. Even if you're not severely injured, it fucking hurts. You know how expensive doctors are? Like, I mean, I live in Canada, so they're not really. But like, if you want to go to like a specialist or a chiropractor or whatever, like realign your spine or like fix your back or something. Like I had to one time when I fell on my tailbone really bad. And also, even on public transit and stuff, Purell. Just hand sanitize after. People don't talk about this. I know from experience. I have strong feelings about this. Be fucking careful with your teeth. Be careful with your teeth. Oh, teeth are so expensive. You have teeth for free. Keep them that way. For instance, so I have a story. I was in bed studying, as you do, but I couldn't sleep. And so I had my computer on my lap like this, and I was laying on my back. My knees were too high up with the computer, and I was on my back, and it fell back. It was my MacBook. It fell and knocked my front teeth out, and I swallowed most of those pieces, and the rest I had in like my hand in the middle of the night, and I was like, this is like a horrible dream. Oh my god. Yeah, that also kind of just goes hand in hand with number 10 of what I learned from that situation, which is don't lie down with anything over your face. Like, pretend this is like my phone. When I'm lying with my phone like this, I'm never having it like this because it'll bonk. I always have it like this, like behind me, so if I drop it, it goes behind my head. Like this. Not like this. Because I know it sounds like I'm being a hypochondriac, but once you've had your teeth knocked out by a computer, that still has bite marks on it, by the way. Very small ones. You're not going to want to take those chances. I've worked consistently part-time year-round since I was 15, and at points I've been working full-time. And so while I'm making that money, because I'm at home and I don't pay rent, while I'm in school, save your earnings. While you are living at home, if you have the chance, save 50% of your earnings is what I do. Just saving 50% because that's probably roughly what would be going towards your expenses anyway. After a while, if you have a lot saved, put it in a TFSA, a tax-free savings account. Also, you probably shouldn't be taking financial advice from an 18-year-old YouTuber, but that is what I've done, and it's been a really, really great choice for me financially. I feel like this is not gonna come off. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna take a beauty blender and I'm going to put it in the micellar water, and I'm gonna see if I can like, oh fuck, look at that juicy tip. What? I'm gonna see if I can like squish it off my face. Oh my god. Don't feel scared or pressured, but like, the more you save the earlier on, it will save you so much grief. I cannot tell you how many people I know who are undergrad students who like didn't really start saving up until university or till like senior year even. And they do not have money to do shit with, and they're going into debt. Or they have a scholarship, but then they're really, really limited by the amount that scholarship gives them. Just try and set yourself up for the best possible scenario. You know, if that is something that would work for you, living at home is a great option while you're still a student. This is coming from a place of privilege. I'm also in a very wonderful, loving household. I'm near good schools. It's probably one of the best financial decisions I've ever made for myself. I'm just gonna fix this because I can't concentrate on both of them at once. I'm talking, and then I'll be right back. I'm loving this already. This is so fun. I was just gonna do a normal makeup tutorial. This isn't even a tutorial. This is just me messing around. Another thing I've learned is to reach out to people first. Like, you never know what's going on with people. You never know why they're not reaching out. Honestly, I know a lot of people, they're just really awful at reaching out first, but they're really lovely people and I love spending time with them. I get it. I get it. Ooh, look at this. This little, I love it. It's a little puff. One thing that I've learned that I think is cool is that the classics are usually worth the hype. Ooh. Classics are classics for a reason. Like Frankenstein, very good. The Iliad, fuck, very good. After that, going forward, it's so much easier to spot the inspirations from things. And then it just gives you a deeper appreciation for the connectedness of media, but also the connectedness of humanity, right? Like the amount that we inspire each other and future generations. It makes me feel connected to like everyone who came before me. And appreciating something that has been appreciated so many times before, there's something so beautiful and so human about that. Whoa, look at that pigmentation. But oh my goodness. Okay, I'm a little worried about this is coming out. No! Never focus solely on your weight. Like, if you're doing weight loss for health reasons or for whatever, like, I get it. I really do. I get it. I'm in that same boat. But at the same time, you also have to think about, like, your body is a whole set of interconnecting systems. You can't just decide you're going to fix one system by ruining all the others, because that's not actually going to help. Yeah, another thing I've learned, be courteous when you're quitting something, except in abusive situations. Like, it's so easy to make enemies unintentionally with people at work or at previous jobs because you don't think about it, especially if you're getting fired. Like, be very aware of whatever you're doing, whatever consequences it will have, because you can't really be too careful. I mean, especially in these times where jobs are harder to come by and harder to keep. This is very much trust the process. And I'm not trusting the process, even though it's my process. But this is very like big sister advice core. Listen. Trust me on this. When people don't, like when friends and people close to you or your family, whose advice you generally trust, don't like your significant other, or even like a close friend of yours, trust them. No, they're just being a hater, or no, they don't get it. They don't know this person like I do. I've been there, believe me, time and time again. They usually have a reason. And even if they don't have all the context you do, they've probably noticed something that you haven't, or have put words to something you haven't totally accepted yet. I've been in really awful situations with people before where when I finally realized it after I got out of it, they were like, yeah, we know. Like, that was awful. You were dealing with an awful person. We all knew that, except for you. And realizing how much pain it could have saved me if I just listened to my friends. And it's not always like, it's not like they were like banging down my door being like, hey, they suck. Yeah. It's more just like, if everyone's weary of someone or if whatever, there's probably a reason. There's probably a reason. After this piece of advice, and then I'm just gonna like speed run the rest of my makeup. But one thing that is important is being like a BoJack type is not cool. And by BoJack type, I'm talking about BoJack from BoJack Horseman, by the way. I'm not saying someone who struggles with stuff or someone with BPD or anything like that. What I am saying though is some people are in so much pain that they kind of start thinking it's quirky and cool to be awful to other people. It's different than someone just struggling with something. It's more when someone is actively like, my shitty actions are justified because of things that have happened to me time and time again. It's not. They aren't. People's behaviors aren't excused by their issues. They can be explained by it, but they aren't excused. Again, action can be informed by how you are, what you're struggling with. Doesn't excuse them if you're doing something atrocious to someone. I would just caution. I would just caution you to be aware of if it ever gets to a point where you know someone and their suffering becomes almost self-righteous. It's not a thing that you should be embodying either, but also just to be aware that, you know, I'm not saying end a friendship over it or whatever. I'm just saying, you know, be aware of it and don't let yourself fall prey to those same ideas. Busy work can be very beneficial if you learn how to use it to your advantage. So like, you know, when you're like you don't have like the energy to be productive, right? Like, it's just like, oh my God. I get it. I've been there. I go to U of T. I understand. I like to make like a list of all the things I need to get done. And if my brain is like not gonna do a lot of productive work, but I'm still like, okay, I have an hour to do stuff, just figure out like the easiest things on your list or like the medium concentration things on your list and just do those. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try to finish this before I get distracted, and then I will be right back. fix up my hair and put on some lashes, which are just these ones from AliExpress, and then I'm gonna do the final reveal. Ta-da! Thank you everybody for coming today. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you have any suggestions for our next video idea or something you want me to talk about, just let me know in the comments below. And yeah, love you guys. See you next time. Bye!